Hi everyone, Brian Tomaszewski here. In this GIS software tutorial, I will teach you about working with tabular data in the ArcGIS Pro software environment. If you want to learn how to work with real-world tabular datasets to support spatial analysis, this GIS software tutorial is for you. In this GIS software tutorial, you will gain experience and knowledge of data management with tabular data in ArcGIS Pro. Specifically, using a case study about COVID cases in New York State, USA, you will form a spatial hypothesis about COVID cases, acquire official COVID tabular datasets to test your hypothesis, curate tabular datasets into a file geodatabase to prepare those datasets for spatial analysis, and use table joins, relates, and time-aware layer animation to conduct a basic spatial analysis using ArcGIS Pro. The specific steps I will use in the tutorial are available from download on my website. See the link below in the video description for more information where you can download the specific steps. Before we start, I want to give you a quick background on some important concepts that you'll learn about in the tutorial before we get to the hands-on sections of these videos. Tabular data is simply the idea of data that is stored in rows and columns. If you've ever used a tool like Microsoft Excel, you are very familiar with the general concept of tabular data. Individual records are stored in rows, and attributes or items that describe those individual records are stored in the columns, or sometimes called fields. In the image here, you see a tabular dataset that you will work with later on in the tutorial. This tabular dataset shows coronavirus data for counties in upstate New York, USA on given dates and COVID-related data for those dates. Note too that there is a column with the name of the county that establishes a geography for each record. In a GIS context, tabular data is important because often data is structured in non-spatial tabular data where the data does not have the specific technical characteristics for direct incorporation into GIS software like the example shown here, therefore having to use special techniques such as table joins and relates that I'll discuss momentarily. This image shows one of the most basic yet still commonly used data storage formats, the comma-separated values or CSV file. CSV files are nothing more than ASCII-based text files where data in the file is structured using commas to define data columns, and each line in the file represents a single data record. In a GIS context, CSV files are often used for storing point features, where specific geographic information is often represented as decimal degree XY coordinate numbers in the file that can then be parsed or read by GIS software for rendering on a map. However, in general, CSV files are a common tabular data storage format used by agencies such as the U.S. Census Bureau that you'll learn about later in these videos, where we will use CSV files for table joining and relating. Another very important concept in GIS related to tabular data is that of table joins. The basic idea behind table joining is where two tables are combined based on a common field in both tables. This image shows two tables related to land type. The first table on the left side of the image contains the geographic features of land type polygons. The land type category in this table is referenced by a code. The second table, shown on the right side of the image, contains the textual description of the categories and also a land type code. Thus, the two tables share the land type code field in common. This will allow the two tables to be joined to one another. Once the two tables are joined, a new combined table is created that contains the attribute fields or columns from both tables. In ArcGIS Pro, table joins are known as what is a one-to-one relationship, where there is one corresponding record in each table. And in just a moment, in the hands-on portion of this GIS software tutorial, I'll show you how to do a table join. A table relate is similar to a table join, but in the case of a table relate, one table may have many records in common with another table, also known as a one-to-many relationship. In this image taken from the tutorial that you will learn about in just a moment, you see two tables. The table on the left are counties from New York State. The table on the right are COVID records for those counties from individual days. Therefore, there is a one-to-many relationship between the two tables. Specifically, there is one county in the table on the left, and for that one county, there are multiple records related to COVID based on individual days. You can then set up a relate relationship between the two tables to do interactive queries where you can see records related to the two tables, and I'll show you how to do a table relate in just a moment. With all of these background concepts in mind, let's now begin going through the steps for this GIS software tutorial related to tabular data management, where you will use table joins, relates, thematic mapping, and animation to conduct a spatial analysis related to COVID. Although I'm using a case study of COVID, the techniques I will show you are generalizable to any type of spatial analysis or GIS project where you need to use tabular data to help solve problems and answer questions. As a reminder, the specific steps for this GIS software tutorial that I'm going to show you can be downloaded from my website. You can find this tutorial on my website from the link provided in the video description below, and I'll be referencing those specific steps in the next series of videos. If you like this video, please share it, leave a comment, or consider subscribing to this channel. Hi, this is Brian Tomaszewski. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and share this video. Also, please consider subscribing to this channel and clicking the notification icon to stay up to date on new videos from this channel. Thanks for watching.